He's ready. What did Mad Cat say on he's going to be bringing the sound? I believe.
I think he went. He's going to be bringing the sound.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I don't know if that's vocally. I don't know. It's not an English term. Believe me, it's just a Mad Cat term. But for sure, I think Jude will. He's obviously going to add a lot. The one thing I will say is the other three have been adapting, have changed a little bit. So do they just fit straight into it, or are they going to have a wavy kind of couple of minutes? We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be a very tough opponent straight away. The man is back, and he is on your screens, looking as beautiful as ever. Jared.
Well, I think that's the big thing, right? Like, is there going to be any...
it's like adjustment period.
Is there going to be one? If there is, it's not the first match you'd love to have.
Yeah.
LG, they are sitting at the top with Envy now, both 4-0 here in Division B. Splyce, 2-2 coming to this one. Both their losses coming to Game 5. For me, I mean, I feel LG will take this series, but it's definitely one that has potential Game 5 written all over it.
Yeah, I think it's very hard to not take LG in any series in Division B. I mean, even if you kind of combine the divisions, a lot of people will always be taking LG. However, we're going to get kicking off here. Forest Hardpoint is going to be map number 1, and straight away, Slack, Cap, and Octane putting people to bed. Mad Cat's going to trade one out, but we are going to see LG just take control of this first hard point. And one thing I am looking forward to, actually, is to see if Tommy can still be as consistent as he was in week 1. He had a phenomenal start.
Oh, he did. He was brilliant. I mean, so many clutches in Search and Destroy. Big plays in CTF, dropping bombs in Hardpoint. He was absolutely stellar, but it wasn't against LG. He's going to need to be that Tommy for sure. And right now, Splyce is struggling to find kills as Luminosity blowing them off the map. They've been spectacular. They've been the best team in Division B. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to toss it to an Astro Listen in with LG.
Spawn cap, back bomb coming.
Nice too. One's in you on me. You, Bance is full. Okay,
spawn broken. One push
One's in bow.
Bance is in you, weak. Back
Bance was in you.
You guys come in.
He's gonna push bow.
I'm looking at you for a
second. Top of the hill.
He's in. He's in. He's right back out.
Middle. Back L, Bance. Push that back. Spawn on cap, one cap. I'm going broken.
Yeah, one's
on hill. Tommy's broken that hill. Broken ramp. I spawned fire.
He got me. Bance is getting close to street.
He's on a 5. Back bridge, one shot on mid-map, Jared. He's absolute bridge heady. I don't see him bridge heady. He's just...
Push up. I got Bance. I
got needed from Jared. He cooked
top hill weak.
I spawned deep.
I got him. One was middle.
I got behind you. One more mid. John, go to hill. Mid you dead. Nice, good job. They're gonna be at new.
He came out of ramp. He's on the ramp. Full health.
Top hill barely weak. Top hill dead. I'm absolute. I got double nade. I'm dead.
Push their side.
You weak, Jared. One top ramp. Nice, top ramp. Nice, go in. We gotta rotate. Come new.
I'm going for hill. There's two here. Broken Mad Cat, dead.
Cap him here.
I'm leave you.
Yeah, I'm out.
They're here again, John.
I'm helping them, Cap. Block the back.
Jared's weak on the ramp. Good help.
I got one more ramp.
Nice, too. Someone? Let's middle map with an air. Middle map with an air. Yeah, I'm
to your right.
My bad, I didn't know he was there. Spawn. Alright, he's spawned back. Map's loose, Sam. Look on me. Could be coming up front. One shot.
I'm Jerry. One shot.
What's first? I needed it.
Cabin. One shot first.
I'm looking at first.
One shot first.
Front bunker. Fuck, does my streaks. In hill. He's rush hill. I spawned the back.
All the pinch, Sam.
Nice shot.
Hear the comms there from LG. I mean, no BS. Just on point, trying to take control. Ruins didn't go as well for him as that opening hard point, but now they've taken over in bunker. Slack just picked up 3 kills in the lead building for LG. It's going to be Splyce trying to bust on through, but yeah, I mean, predominantly LG controlled here early.
Yeah, nice rotation to bunker. They lost a little bit of time over on that second hard point. You see Jer's trying to play for this scrap. 20 seconds left, and he's only going to have 11 bullets left, but he's going to find that. You can see now we're going to be headed to this middle road. And one thing I did like about Luminosity's kind of communications, there was nothing hectic, there was nothing rash, and, you know, rightly so, you're at the very start of a series, but as well, just noticing that Bance was on kind of a kill streak as well, just being aware of all the surroundings all the time. So strong start for Luminosity, 83-44, and again, back in control of the hard point now.
Yeah, they've got cabin alley control, will allow them to pick up time, and it'll also keep Splyce out of the hard point. As soon as they get in, Octane's going to be able to push right over from cabin and help his teammate line up kills there. This has been phenomenal. A team kill's not going to help you as Bance takes out Tommy, and the lead continues to grow here for LG. But Octane doing Octane-type things. 3 streak right now at 10-4, nearly a minute in the hard point to work with. And then John, the other big slayer on this team, doing the same on the other side. 13-3, 27 engagements now, just combining those kills and deaths. John and Octane, like that's the wall you're going to run into with this squad.
Yeah, Octane's shot as well. People watching Octane there will not appreciate sometimes how difficult it is to take them off that bunker head glitch there, but does manage to do it. 12-5 now for Octane. I don't believe there's any streaks, but they're going to get the triple digits, 100 points now, and we know how strong that they are on this first hard point. They kind of blew Splyce out of the water there. Camp getting a little bit over-aggressive and looking very strong going into this first rotation. Now starting back at Cave. Octane again just trying to anchor, but also getting in the hill as well. Cap and John doing work. Oh, enjoy it. Not a bullet was missed.
Yeah, Jared thought he might get away with his life for a moment there, but not able to do it. Mad Cat's grenade will finally clear LG out of the hard point, and now maybe they can pick up some time. They got bullied the first time through Cave. It was, what, 3 down off the opening break, and they never really recovered from that in the opening moments. Now, though, at least able to get in contest for a moment. They're trying to make the plays. 2 do go down for LG, but unfortunately, the human turret still here in Octane, and John picks up the second one there outside the hard point with a grenade.
And again, Luminosity, you know, when they're not controlling this hard point, they're stopping Splyce getting anywhere near at this point. Breakdown on the box score will be interesting to see at the end of the game. But rotations last time did favor Splyce in this one. We'll have to see how it breaks down again. You can see 8 and 6. That's Jerd and Mad Cat already set up at Ruins. And Jerd just being that nuisance, up close and personal. This is what he likes to do. PPSH in hand. Tommy getting the cuts here. This could be a big hill here for Splyce.
It has to be. This is the only reason they're in the game. I mean, they got 30 points or so here the first time through. They've got to combine 30 points from the rest of the hard points together. So if they're going to get back into it, it's got to happen now. They need to have another strong hold, and it's Jerd dominating therein through you, who's able to pick up some key ones. He's on a 4 streak right now. Maybe he can pick up some streaks, but Splyce, they're happy to have Jerd back, and they need him to have a big performance here because he's going up against a very strong sub-presence in LG.
Yeah, I was a bit unsure. Jerd just pushed out there to the middle. I'm not sure if he was trying to wrap around, thought the old spawn back bunker and Bell. Does get taken down, so no streaks for him just yet, and it really just shows the caliber of these 8 players on the stage right now. No one able to string together any form of streaks. Jerd spotting one more, and he will be able to take down Octane. And now you've got to be thinking of that bunker rotation. And Splyce do have this. This is the last 10 seconds they're getting in scrap, and that's coming in from Tommy. And these 2 people key to their victory right now. Jerd's going to trade things out, and look at the spawns now coming in for Splyce.
This is big, because last time they got a lot of time there on Ruins, LG immediately answered with a strong bunker hold and basically blew the lead up to what it was previously. Now, if you're Splyce, you can string together 2 solid hard points. You have a chance to really bring this back, maybe even take over the lead. Can they get it done? Tommy still outside in Ruins. They have Mad Cat watching the back. But Jerd, he's got to go big in the front here. He is able to get a couple of kills. Mad Cat looking over him as well, and the time continues to tick in.
He does everything he needs to. Picks up 1, which is the key engagement there, just to keep the spawns. But in fact, he finds himself 2. He's going to spawn up with his team. You can still see that back spawn for Splyce, and they're going to be right back into it after this. The one thing Luminosity needs to do now, don't get too overzealous. They need to, you know, keep the streaks away from them. They feed Splyce streaks, and this whole middle hard point's going to get a lot messier.
It certainly could, but that is... that's a flawless hold from Splyce. Tied up 144 now. You're at least contesting a little bit if you're LG inside. That's going to be J-Cap on the other end of it, but as he drops, I don't believe a single point earned from LG inside a bunker, and very minimal scored in Ruins as well. So a really solid 2 minutes of gameplay there from Splyce is giving them the lead, Momo.
Love that from Jerd. He notices that the hard point does go uncontested. If he jumps in now, I'm not sure he got the cap there. May have been the difference for those streaks. You could see him going for it. We're going to those open areas. And Splyce, they take the lead for the first time here on the hard point. And I said to you at the start of this series, do they have that minute adjustment period? For me, I don't think they did. I know they started slow, but it seemed like Jerd just slipped right back into the role that he's used to. He's now 26 and 24.
Well, he's doing what you want him on the map. He's got the most engagements of everyone, and he's, you know, a little bit positive here in this as well. Jerd getting right back into form. And these guys have teamed together so long, you would expect just that. No slowdown, but still, despite that, trailing to LG right now, despite the fact that LG was trying to fight from bridge, they are able to tack on a good chunk of time there at the East Road. But now, let's get right back, set up to Cave. Octane, going to be a key player here, trying to deal with the pressure coming in from Cabin. Is picked off from his left. Over on bunker side will be Slack. I don't think Slacks have any clue. They just spawn behind him. I think he died from the front anyway, but I don't think he's going to be prepared for that spawn out at all.
See, Splyce is spawning very, very close. However, the pinch from Luminosity really could shut down Splyce. As I say that, 3 kills do come in. Splyce will have the full knowledge of where everyone is spawning now. And you can see, Bant's trying to lock down the middle. He's doing that, trying to cut inside as well. But again, just as 3 go down for Luminosity, answer back with 4. And now they're starting to put the aggressive foot down.
Yeah, I mean, you've got John pushed all the way up the front bunker. That allowed Octane to get up in a position to find a couple of kills as well. I think Jerd just missed Slack as he was crossing through mid lane. But there you go. You clear him out with 20 seconds left. You know, if you're not going to get a ton of time here in Splyce, at least try to make sure that Luminosity can't get in. Now you get a big rotation here. It's going to be 4 players now that are going to be able to hit. It's going to be basically on Octane here to withstand the full pressure. He's done enough to put a couple bullets in and stay alive. He bought his teammates time to push up through you. Octane's still holding here, but grenades keep soaring in.
Yeah, Octane's done a really good job. I don't think he realizes how good those couple of bullets on each player just pause Splyce's attack. Splyce, though, answer back. It's toe-to-toe with these two teams. We are going to see Luminosity around 20 points in the lead now. Splyce have control, and we know what they've done already on this Hill Maven.
Yeah, this is where they've been brilliant. Can they do it one more time? JCap in from you, clearing him out for a moment. He was very close to streaks, but Tommy goes big. The first one with the grenade, lines up 2 more with the FG42, and now they're in position to maybe take control. He's somehow surviving here. It's Mad Cat that's been able to look over of him. Tommy finally drops, though, at LG. They get that close spawn at Bell. They're able to bully their way right back on in.
Mad Cat, a long-range grenade there with Jerd entering. A 2-2 split here. There's still 15 seconds. We can already see that LG is set up for Bunker. This is bad news for Splyce. These 10 seconds will put them back in the lead. I think there's someone actually still challenging. Is that Slack going through the middle?
I think he was just going to see if maybe he could pick him out of the hard point really quick, but he wasn't able to spot him. Now the rotation comes in. It's not going to be ready for this. Nope, he'll get shot in the back, so that's an opening here for Tommy to now make a play. He's trying to get eyes to the back. John peeks it for a second. Wow, John gets ripped there. And it gets maybe real scary for a moment here for Splyce, but John does try to push it out. Splyce is trying to fly in through the front. They've got a couple of kills. They're at least able to contest. They're actually picking up some time right now. This is great from them considering LG has got the spawns. They've never been able to get really set up and get comfortable.
Yeah, and that is very unfortunate for Mad Cat, but a smart heads-up play from Luminosity. And you can see that this is going LG's way. 28 seconds. They should be able to clean up the majority of this time now. And Splyce are in trouble. The crazy thing is we've not even seen a streak here. The kills are being stopped, and John with a big 2 will secure those last 15 seconds as long as Tommy can't break in.
And Tommy's trying to do something here, at least contest, because you get the rest of these points. You're very close to winning the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be sitting nearly 236 through 37 for Luminosity here. And with this particular hardpoint coming up, we know how scrappy it is. It's tough to lock up a ton of time. You don't expect Splyce to be able to get a perfect hold. The question is just going to be, can they keep LG out of the hardpoint for 16 seconds?
Well, John with the grenade and the quick kill with a PPSH. He knows the back bridge. That's going to be his 3rd in a row. This is dangerous. This is John at his best here. Close quarters, PPSH in hand. The hill is in the face and in the hands of Luminosity. They're looking to close it out, but another wave of kills will come in. Mad
Cat goes to big there. He's got cabin control, and he's at least able to get a couple of kills. Now Luminosity is spawning bridge, and they're going to have to push in. There's still plenty of time for them to get the victory here if they can find the kills. Jerd doing his best there, but he, I think, ran out of ammo there, so he wasn't able to finish up the second kill. LG's gotten back in, 246, just need a couple of points. Tommy and company trying to clear him out with nades, but it's going to be too little, too late. LG get it done, as they'll take the map 1 victory, but I mean, still, I think an impressive performance from Splyce. But it almost felt like Splyce was going to take over a couple times. I almost thought they were going to get like a bigger lead, but LG just kept keeping a little bit out front, right? Yeah, LG had a very strong start. Obviously, Splyce getting back into it, very dominant towards that second hard point. A battle of 2 beasts, we can only describe it as. And again, I will reiterate, not one streak. We didn't see anything. You know, every single player just kind of shut down. You know, when was the last time you saw, you know, Octane just kind of be shut down on 3s and 4s? You can say the same for the likes of Tommy as well. I think the biggest streak we saw was 5 out of anyone. Yeah. And that was like once or twice, really. Not many streaks at all. No. Or not many long streaks. I'm intrigued to see how the rest of this series does obviously play out, going in Search and Destroy, CTF, different game modes. But when it's Hardpoint, these 2 teams going toe-to-toe, anything can happen. But of course, Luminosity Gaming take map number 1 and solidify, really, that, you know, they can do it against anyone. Yeah, they certainly can. But I think for Splyce, though, you still feel good about it. You know, it's the first game back with Jerd. You know, they may have scrimmed a little bit before this. I believe I saw him in the back. So, yes, it's the first actual match of the Pro League, but you've got a little bit of play with him since he's gotten here. But Jerd did what Jerd needed to do. High interactions, flying into the face of opponents, winning more one-on-one gunfights than he was losing. But just not quite enough. And that's the thing, though. I mean, even Splyce with their full force, even if they weren't maybe a tiny bit under practice without Jerd, it may still not matter against the likes of Luminosity. They've been that good. Absolutely. Jerd, he seems to be fitting right in, of course.
We saw Hardpoint before the show, and I think Clay and the boys were just saying how hard it must be, and a lot of the pro players have never been in the position where you sat at home watching your team play, and the frustration and the hunger that Jerd must be coming over. He's obviously had some travel issues, but he's here to stay. He's got this whole week ahead of him, and a lot more Call of Duty to play for. And it would have been great for them for a map 1 victory against the likes of LG, but they are a team which, you know, I don't think tilt very often. They don't kind of take it to heart if they lose a map like that. But 250 to 216, we're going to be sticking on the Forest as we go to Search and Destroy and CTF.
And the big thing we've talked about on Ardent Forest for LG, when they want to all-out hit towards B, whether it's, you know, a split through mid and through Bell, or just an all-out hit through Bell or mid, when they've been going to B, they've been dominating. We haven't seen teams able to slow them down. They've only lost a handful of rounds on offense when they're trying to take over that site. I guess the question for me is going to be, is Splyce going to be able to hold that? It was Mad Cat, typically Mad Cat and Felony, that were playing inside of the B site, and Mad Cat talked about on Hot Mic how good Felony was inside of U, how well they worked together considering the fact they didn't play much there. I'm assuming then it's going to be Jerd and Mad Cat with the responsibility for that initial push. Can they deal with LG? No teams have really been able to from what I've seen.
Well, Tommy, of course, put in a star-like performance with a sniper sometimes on this map. We'll see if he sticks to it. As we go into Forest Search and Destroy here, Tommy will be rocking that sniper once again. Let's see if he can find anything straight away as he's going to instantly let loose on the grenade. Oh, the shell shock's coming in. He sees the cross, but that shell shock too much.
And they just hit up there, make it that first goal, and actually go right to A. And John with another one. We saw him with some spectacular plays when he picked up first bloods. He just played right behind it, got 2 or 3 kills after it. He's been phenomenal, and yeah, maybe it doesn't really exactly matter what site we're talking about. Luminosity just flying through. John with 3. Can John get the ace is the question. Cap will drop. If anything, this might just lead to another kill for, you know, he wants it. You know, he wants it.
John's hungry for this. I mean, you get streaks early on. It's really, really big. Octane has the whole cross here from this individual site, watching both Fire, Bunker, and, of course, that little slither on the right-hand side. And there he is. The spot will come in, and he doesn't really miss those.
Yeah. One of the better players, certainly at those gunfights, whether bunker to wood or wood to bunker. He's going to win that more often than he loses it. But, yeah, I believe it was Mad Cat and Jerd then that were inside the site, so that'll be the play. Unfortunately, they didn't really get involved in the action until 2 of their teammates were dead. Tommy got picked mid, and another Bance dies on the A site. So by the time they're rotating over, I mean, the round's all but over.
Okay, Splyce's offense here, obviously. Sniper still in hand, and we're going to see this fast aggressive push. Octane usually dominates that top region. Slack's already taken down Jerd. Bad news for Tommy, as the bomb will be dropped here, and again, a 4v2 position for Luminosity. And I think Mad Cat have been spotted here too.
And the thing is, will they be able to adjust? Because this is very similar to what we've seen from LG. There seems to be very few chinks in the armor on this particular map, whether it's offense or defense. They've been very, very good on Ardent Forest. And I think those 2 rounds go to show exactly what I was speaking about. Like, this is what I've seen from them. And I don't know how you stop it, but I haven't seen anyone do it yet. And I'm curious if we'll see that push through B that I'm talking about when they just soar, man.
It's almost like they have like an advantage on each side. And I don't when LG are on the defense, they control B. When they're on the offense, they control pretty much what they like.
Well, here it is.
And this is the push.
And they are very, very rarely losing these. Good job with the grenades.
Yep.
They slow him down. That's big. Grenade and a stun do come in. But as one hits top, it's John who's able to find another first blood. John finds another kill. These are rounds I'm talking about from John, where he gets the kill and just goes on forward. He just flies on in. He's already got, what, 5 kills? Slack those on a 4 streak, about to pick up streaks. And it's another round in which... I don't know how you stop it.
I mean, it says a lot when... It's that initial trade. So... The 2 players from Splyce obviously in a very difficult position. They've got 4 players, you know, around them in some way or another. And it's always 2 players from Splyce will go down and only 1 from LG. And then it's just, you know, the number advantage for LG just kind of takes over. At a 4v4, they're great. At a 2v2, they're great. But when they have that number advantage, it's so hard for them to lose.
And I might be misquoting the team here. I hope not. But one team did try to stack 3 inside the site to deal with this against LG. I want to say it was United, but I could be misquoting that. But they tried 3, and that didn't even work. So it's tough. When you've got 3 people inside of B and still can't hold it. LG's doing something right. But right now it is a 3v3. Well, Mad Cat quickly drops. Everybody falls right after that, and like dominoes, drop by drop, Splyce gone.
Yeah, and Octane is making them ruin stairs. He's putting a tent up there. He's happy. He's at home. And Johnny's just roaming free through the middle. And frustrating faces from Splyce here as they yet to get off the mark. And even Splyce, you know, on Forest, we saw some very, very strong performances, and it just goes to show you how strong of a team LG really is when they can make Splyce look, you know, almost amateur on a map like this.
Yeah, I mean, Octane's yet to die. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this time they're able to pick up the 2 players. They hold it off. It's not a full 4-man push from LG, but you still stop it there. So they're able to adapt. A kill comes in with a grenade, and also, I believe, with the FG42 of Mad Cat. So it is stopped for a moment. Well, for a round, that is. JCap, though, finding his first kill here in this one.
Won't find his second, as we are going to see Splyce just hold tight, and a much-needed round for Splyce.
And it's big, though. Like,
oh, yeah.
The fact that they actually adapted, like, we saw other teams try to adapt against LG, and it still didn't matter. They're able to adapt and get the round victory. I guess the question is it too late because you already gave LG 4 rounds?
That's the problem. I mean, the one thing that they haven't done, again, is they've not fed them streaks. Those rounds, again, the trading. So they're taking players down with them and maybe losing 2v1s in the end, which is what you would expect. But again, this is different from Splyce. They're changing things up. B is not working for them, so they're looking to hit A, the standard smoke, covering all of that wall. And we're going to see Vance pushing forward. He's going to be the first line of offense. And surprisingly, the other 2 players are a little bit backed off him.
Well, they toss a lot of nades here to try and disrupt, but I believe it was 2 counter nades, or 2 counter stuns came in from LG, or at least one that connected, I believe, 2 players from Splyce. That kind of stopped them in their tracks out here in field. So they did get some map positioning for a moment, but they never actually broke into bunker. They never got in. The smoke start to clear, and then what are you going to do? You're hiding behind trees, stumps. There's just not a lot to work with once you get in that field. If you're going to push in there, you've got to win the fight in and actually get control of get control of cabin there, and they were never able to. And it's just as soon as the nades cleared, I mean, that was a massacre. Yeah,
it was almost like they were stuck in no man's land. Yeah. And, you know, the smoke play, I love the play. Bance got very aggressive and close, and that's why I was kind of saying those 2 plays just a little bit standoffish. And maybe if they kind of gone full force, traded out with John, made it a 3v3, and just took the A site, doesn't work out for them this time. But again, that shell shock just too much for Tommy. He's been caught twice with that now, and John will be traded out by Jerd, 3v3. And this time I'd say Splyce in a much better position. Of course, not just because of the second kill coming in, but just overall their map control.
Well, you didn't let John run through your entire team this time. Last time you picked up Tommy, you ended up getting 2 more in quick succession. This time you're at least able to trade out John pretty quickly, and it will give you the edge here. Now JCap's been tagged. He's in trouble. Might get picked up. Should be spotted in a moment here. But Octane, with the ability still to clutch this. 1 versus 2.
Oh, come on.
1 versus 1. 45 seconds left. Mad Cat's got to clutch this, or we're going to map 3.
And you just, I mean, Octane is already on a 3-kill streak. Just to emphasize, this would be the ace for him.
And look at the difference in their stats right now.
Yeah, this is, for obvious reasons, a very important round here for Splyce. They lose it. We'll be going into map 3 with a dominating search and destroy. And Octane could be caught here with the plan, but Mad Cat just lingering around.
Mad Cat thinks he's got it. Mad Cat thinks he's got it, but with the protection from the pillar there, he actually gets the plant down. So he thought he was actually watching the cross, see if he was getting bomb, I believe, but doesn't actually have the angle to spot him. Now, oh, I thought Octane saw him. He doesn't see him top. Mad Cat able to win it there. Well, it wasn't much of a gunfight, but he's able to hit the shots there onto Octane and now get the defuse. So he finds his 2nd kill and keeps Splyce alive with their 2nd round.
And again, a couple of positive responses here from Splyce. The round's looking a lot better. Yes, they may have kind of thrown the map itself away by giving too many rounds early on, but they're adapting to it. I just feel like it's a little bit too late, Maven.
I think that round worked out for Mad Cat because I don't think Octane expected him to be on that side. He's like, if he's on that side peeking from Valley, he's going to see me getting the plant down, but he's expected to be top ruins like that so quickly. Slack opens with a grenade. Slack goes massive there, and that's your game too.
I mean, this is, you can see Mad Cat's pinned in. Octane again. This is his 2nd home up here. And that is going to be that. LG put a very, very strong, dominating performance here for the Search and Destroy on Forest. We've seen it twice. We're going to see it for a 3rd time on CTF. But LG just confirming exactly why they are undefeated and why they are potentially one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, and still, I mean, it's not that they've had like the tear that Team Caliber did on Arden Forest S&D, because I mean they started out like 10-0 or whatever the hell it was. I mean they were spectacular, but just at least in this Division B, when I've watched Luminosity, you do not want to play them on Arden Forest. It has not been close. They've been spectacular, but the big thing is now going to be the Game 3 here. Luminosity did drop CTF on Arden Forest to Unilad, so this is a map they can be vulnerable on. Splyce need the victory here to try and pull off the reverse sweep. CTF, Arden, coming up after this quick break. LG in command of this second series of the day, up 2-0. It's been Arden Forest for our first two maps. We'll be traveling to the Forest again for our third. And unfortunately for Splyce, they may never see another map.
May not. Maybe third time lucky. For Splyce, you never know. The CTF can be that game-changing, momentum-changing game mode sometimes. And with Jerd back, can Splyce pull it out the bag? Like we said before, the first game back, ideally you wouldn't want to be playing LG. We saw a close hard point, but a search and destroy, which was very, very one-sided.
CTF, though, maybe somewhere where LG can be a little bit vulnerable. They've had some very close games, some overtimes, a loss. They're definitely not unbeatable here. You felt good about the first two. I mean, you feel good about in the series, but Splyce certainly a chance here to maybe swing the series in their favor a little bit, get some momentum here, and hell, just take a map off of the monsters that are Luminosity.
Okay, well, let's kick it off with 5 minutes on that clock, and Jerd, he's running the Airborne Hunker, PPSH as always, and we'll be keeping an eye out for him on this objective. We'll straight away slack down the middle towards the cabin, and that's going to be your first engagement. Jerd takes the first one. Madcat with a second, and maybe Splyce looking for a quick quick push, but that's going to be stopped by John.
JCap, though, last man up. He might get caught mid-map. No, he's at least able to win one. Buys his teammates some time as they're going to be coming off a spawn. This is a map where you won't see many things develop very quickly. A lot of very long sight lines with the power of that FG42. You really have got to take your time up the map. Nice win there. They're spawning him out Bell, so they've got to rotate back now. You've got pretty nice positioning here from Splyce. Jerd's going to have to be that entry player, though, and they're taking their time. They need to get an FG42 to here, look over them. They're hoping to have maybe a stun or an aid to at least hit the back spawn. But the positioning they had to work with inside a bunker seems to be falling apart as soon as Mad Cat drops. Yeah,
Mad Cat and I believe it is Jerd. Yes, it is. They were in a bit of a predicament. They could have gone for a very aggressive push, but they take that flag out. They get caught running backwards, and it could have been a very easy counter-cap for LG. So they kind of bide their time. It doesn't work out for them that time. We do have, again, Bantz looking to sneak around the back here.
I think that's one of those positions still where, like, players aren't 100% sure if they've got them spawned out Bell. Like, they're worried maybe they still spawn deep. They don't want to hit into a bunker because you can at least get a touch in that position. Had they known both were Bell, they probably go and grab it, but obviously they can't see the minimap like we do and didn't realize maybe they had influenced the spawns at that point in time. But as it stands, still going to be sitting at 0-0. John does have 3 kills in a row now as he beams Bantz there coming out of spawn. There's a second one on him close tank. He's going to start to move his way forward. Teammates finding kills all around him. He's now getting desperately close to streaks here. He wants to go in and try to get a touch. Octane picks up one more. They're spawning cabin. Octane's already got the cut, too. Well, I was going to say it's going to be an awkward gunfight, but no, that's actually a stab to the chest of Bantz. And that flag is long gone. 1-0 LG here in a matter of seconds.
And not only Octane getting streaks would be worrying. If John puts this in, I believe he may unlock his streaks. It's going to be a 200-point capture, and there we have 2 streaks already. The safety net for LG is there, but for me, I don't even see that as a safety net for Luminosity. I see it as an aggressive push, and here we are. John, after capping, straight away uses the glide bomb, and they're looking for number 2.
They are. They're pushing in. Another kill for Octane. He will be traded there. The nice part for you here, that works out. No. It works out pretty well for Splyce in the sense they use a streak, and then also, I think you had 3 or 4 kills in a row for Octane, 3 in a row for JCap. So if they get a flag out there, one of those guys scores, you're likely getting more streaks than on the side of LG. So it was at least a big defensive stop there.
We're going to see it just stay at 1-0 for now as we see the first 3 minutes pass. And Splyce had a couple of kills off the break. But apart from that, LG have been looking in top form. Mad Cat with the double. And now you see on the top side of the minimap, here we go. Mad Cat trying to find the third. Is going to be slacked. And now we will see Jerd try and get a touch on this. There's already one player there. He's going to get away. And nobody able to stop him, actually. I'm quite surprised. No shots fired. Mad Cat taken down, and Jerd stuck in no man's land. And that, I thought, potentially could have been the equalizer for Splyce.
Yeah, it almost opened up because, I mean, Slack kind of widened peaks there with a PPSH. He needed to get down immediately because, that's an easy kill for Mad Cat. And then everything starts to open up, but they're at least able to defend it. You still had streaks on John if they were needed to be used. I actually think he died towards the end, so he may not have been able to. But the fact is, you spawn back safe. You're able to pick them up in no man's, and they can't get anywhere with it. And for LG, I mean, sometimes from this side where it's a little bit tougher to make plays, your best defense is a good offense. If they can continue to get this flag out and continued pressure here, just don't give Splyce many opportunities. I mean, this has been perfect from this side of the map, really, for LG.
Yeah. This must be really frustrating as well when you get when you get your flag kind of taken away from you and you're trying to push through the field towards cave, and Octane is sat on, some kind of cover with an FG. It's just like, okay, I'm turning around. Like, we can't lose 2 or 3. This is not good news for Splyce. Of course, we know how strong LG, and I mean, every team can be on the flip side.
Well, and that's what I mentioned earlier in this. Like, you don't really see things develop too quickly on this map just because there are long sight lanes. You've got a power position pretty much everywhere for an FG42 player. But now if you're Splyce, a chance to make a play. There's one holding the close corner, though. Will they spot it? Octane somehow still able to get the kill. Streaks coming on the other end. And this is shut down. Octane goes huge. The streak invested. Now you got a counter opportunity. If Slack wins this 1-on-1 gunfight, that's a cap.
Yeah, well, there's one person may stop him.
Oh, just barely.
That was the spawn that he needed. I will say that the pull from Splyce was really interesting. The way they pulled it, pushed the back spawn, kind of ran towards Bell. And you could see why. But it, of course, just gives that extra time towards Luminosity. The flag is not going to be touched, and we're going to flip the sides here with, again, a very, very dominating CTF.
You don't spawn and get, you don't get the perfect spawn there with an angle there to pick up Slacked.
That's home.
That should be home. Yeah, no, I thought it was. I didn't look at the minimap at that moment just to see the angle of that arrow as it came in, but thankfully they get that kill. 2-0 looks at least a little bit better than 3-0 going into half.
Well, they've got another 5 minutes to try and turn the series around here. Not the ideal start you want, and there, of course, are streaks in the hands of Luminosity, and that, of course, is not going to make it easy at all. Smoke's coming out straight away, as well as the stuns. Splyce. They seem a little bit hesitant here, Splyce. They've made that first kind of initial pick, the trade, but no team wanting to push forward.
Yeah, it's getting these lanes, man. They're so scared. Like, you know all the positions of power. Like, you know how quickly the FG42 can drop you. It'll slow down the pace here big in Forest. But slowly, they're starting to push up the map. But as I say that, Octane wins one on the field side. They win both in on Ruin side. And just like that, Splyce are 4 down. And he's just trying to get in. I thought he was going to sprint in for a touch as quickly as he possibly could. There's the touch. Can't get away with it for a moment. But as they bait out, is there anyone left? It's just going to be Octane, actually. That was a really good opportunity for LG, but Tommy goes big. And they're able to withstand it.
Yeah, they will. They'll, I mean, you could have seen maybe a pull from Luminosity. Splyce kind of had that 2-3 seconds off the spawn to just get in position. Did help them out there. But what, again, LG have done is they've wasted another minute and a half here nearly. And Splyce are no closer. No closer to pulling a flag, capping a flag, or anything in between. Luminosity just showing that the map control that they get is so powerful.
I'm actually surprised LG didn't invest a streak there. I thought, well, maybe if Slack wasn't the first man in. I thought they were going to put a fighter pilot or a glide bomb if they still have one into this. But Jerd had an opportunity for what seemed like a moment, but the safe spawn comes in, and that's why this side can be difficult to get flags out from. You have a lot of angles to pick up that kill before they can get out.
Very difficult. Again, still a couple of streaks in the hands of Slacked from that earlier kill streak, but not invested yet. Interested to see. I think we've seen a couple of STGs come out for capping. I think it might have been Slacked. Well, Slacked or John, one of the two, was rocking one with him. But it seems to be put away, and we're seeing a lot of PPSH action, and rightly so. That 5 minute has become 3, and Splyce still no closer to getting anywhere near it.
Yeah, I think Cap's actually... I think he's the only player I've seen on Division B that's pulled out the STG here. I think we were actually in a listen-in when he did it. I remember he had the... I can't remember what he was running at the time. I think an FG, and he's like, that's it. I'm pulling out the STG. Thinking maybe a little bit more mobility for him, but he's been using that really since, I think, day 1 to kick off Division B.
Sometimes you get that comfort level within a gun. You have a good series with it. It's all about the confidence. Well, it seems whatever he's got in his hands is working. The 3 minutes become 2, and now LG, they're starting to get a couple of kills here and trying to put this series to bed. And this, again, it will put a statement out there to the rest of the team. Splyce, you've got your full roster. It doesn't matter. LG are here to dominate, and they're looking for that first place finish here in Division B.
Well, this is a good matchup to kick off this second week, that's for sure. Outside the hardpoint, it has been all Luminosity. John and Octane have been spectacular throughout. And that duo, man, like you talk about, sometimes, like, I know you need a full 4-man effort, but if you have one just really solid AR and sub working together well, man, they can take over maps at times, it feels like.
Oh, 100%. And this man, Octane's just been a little bit quiet this second side, and more so because we've not seen the aggressive side of LG, but he's been making sure no one gets through, and John still bobbing, weaving, finding kill after kill. Another 3-kill streak for him. 25 and 14, and he's definitely in question for being one of the best players in the world right now, without a shadow of a doubt.
Well, think about what he's doing compared to the competition right now. You'd stack him up against what? Jerd or Vance, I guess you could say. 12 kills for Vance, 14 for Jerd. John's basically got as many as both of them combined right now. I mean, he's just been just free roaming around the map, winning what seems like gunfight after gunfight. And it's amazing.
Yeah, and this is kind of a team fight which is just continuous. It's just 1 kill one way, 2 kills the other. And Luminosity, they're sat there probably, you know, not that it's target practice, but they're happy to just keep trading things out. Nothing's coming of this. Splyce finally do get a 3 down, but nowhere near the enemy flag. And they're not going to be able to capitalize on this. With 25 seconds left to go, we're going to see a desperate pull maybe from Vance. I thought we would, but there you go. The streaks are going to be coming in, and LG, they just come into Division B week 2 as they did week 1, and pretty much show Splyce who they really are.
Yeah, and I think for LG, I mean, you handle the lead how you should there. Maybe it wasn't the flashiest thing. They didn't put any more scores in. They didn't take over as much as they could in the second half. They held their lanes. They played smart. They played patient. Avoided 3 or 4 down scenarios, which they only really had one at the end that I could think of really throughout that entire second half. It was disciplined CTF, and they take home a victory and a big 3-0 there. So both of our all pretty much extended series. I didn't think we'd have back-to-back 3-0s.
No.
Very